The first thing the mind reader learned about humans was that they were noisy. Not noisy with sound, noisy with thoughts. Every species in the Galactic Alliance had thoughts, emotions, memories, and dreams. Most minds followed patterns. Fear looked like fear. Happiness looked like happiness. Pain looked like pain. Humans were different. A human could laugh while feeling sad. They could be afraid and brave at the same time. They could hate someone and still save their life. To telepaths, humans were confusing. To one telepath in particular, they were insulting. His name was Za. He belonged to a species called the Vane. The Vane had evolved powerful mental abilities. They could read thoughts, sense emotions, and even influence weak-minded beings. For thousands of years, no species had been able to resist them. Then they met humanity. At first, the Alliance believed humans would be easy to understand. They were wrong. Human minds were like storms. When Za first touched a human mind during a diplomatic meeting, he expected to find simple thoughts. Instead, he found a flood, a childhood memory, a song, a shopping list, fear about tomorrow, a joke, an embarrassing moment from 10 years ago, a half-finished dream. The human was thinking about all of them at once. Za immediately pulled away. The experience gave him a headache that lasted 3 days. The human had simply smiled. Everything okay? Za never forgot the humiliation. Years later, he became one of the most powerful telepaths in the Alliance. His abilities surpassed almost everyone. He could break criminal minds. He could force confessions. He could uncover secrets hidden for decades. Eventually, his confidence turned into arrogance. He began believing there was no mind he could not conquer. Then humanity entered a conflict with a hostile empire known as the Karth Dominion. The Dominion was expanding rapidly. World after world surrendered. Many species accepted occupation rather than destruction. Humans did not. The war lasted 7 years. 7 brutal years. When it finally ended, humanity remained standing. The Dominion did not. The Alliance celebrated. But Za became curious. Report described humans surviving things that should have broken them. Cities destroyed. Families lost. Entire fleets annihilated. Yet they continued fighting. Again and again. He wanted to know why. He wanted to understand what was hidden inside the human mind. More importantly, he wanted to prove humans were not special. So he requested permission to study a human veteran. The Alliance approved. The subject was a human named Captain Ethan Hayes, 43 years old, former military officer, decorated war hero, survivor of numerous battles. Za smiled when he read the file. A perfect challenge. The meeting took place on a peaceful Alliance station. Ethan arrived wearing civilian clothes. He looked ordinary. Brown hair, a few scars, tired eyes, nothing impressive. Za almost felt disappointed. This was a famous human resilience. This man? Ethan sat across from him. You're the telepath. I am. You want to study my mind? Yes. Ethan shrugged. Fine. That answer surprised Za. Most species feared telepaths. Humans apparently did not. Are you not concerned? Za asked. About what? I will see everything. Ethan leaned back. Good luck. Za sensed amusement. The confidence annoyed him. Do you believe your mind cannot be read? No. Then why are you calm? Ethan smiled. Because whatever you find is your problem. Za narrowed his eyes. Then he reached forward. His mental power entered the human mind. At first, everything seemed normal. Memories appeared. Childhood, school, friends, family. The structure looked stable, simple, predictable. Za almost felt relieved. Then he moved deeper. The storm began. Images exploded around him. Thousands of memories, thousands of emotions, layers upon layers, each connected to countless others. Human memory was not organized like vain memory. It was a tangled forest. Every path led to 10 more. Za pushed forward. He had conquered more difficult minds. He reached the war memories. Suddenly he stood inside a battlefield. Fire covered the sky. Ships were falling from orbit. People were screaming. Buildings collapsed. The memory felt real. Too real. Telepaths often experience memories as simulations. This one overwhelmed his senses. A young soldier beside Ethan was laughing, even while explosions surrounded him. Seconds later, the soldier disappeared in a blast. The laughter stopped forever. Pain struck Zah. Not physical pain. Emotional pain. Raw grief. He stepped back. The grief remained. How? Zah whispered. Ethan's voice echoed through the memory. You wanted to see. Zah continued. Another memory. A hospital. Rows of wounded soldiers. Some missing limbs. Some missing eyes. One soldier told a joke. The entire room laughed. Zah could not understand. They were suffering. Why were they laughing? Then he felt it. The laughter was not denying pain. It was resisting it. Refusing surrender. Refusing despair. The realization unsettled him. He moved deeper. Another memory. A battlefield on a frozen world. Humans exhausted. The human mind would not release him. Not intentionally. It was simply too vast. Too deep. Too complex. More memories surged forward. Parents sacrificing for children. Strangers helping strangers. People risking everything for individuals they barely knew. Acts of kindness appeared among terrible suffering. Again and again, Zah watched ordinary humans choosing compassion when cruelty would have been easier. The pattern repeated endlessly. He began understanding why the Dominion lost. The Dominion had measured weapons, ships, resources, population. They had not measured humanity's refusal to quit. They had not measured loyalty, sacrifice, hope, love. They had not measured the strength of people who believed others were worth saving. Then Zah reached the memory, the worst memory, the one Ethan never visited voluntarily. The final battle. Thousands died. Friends vanished. Entire fleets burned. The pain was unbearable. Even Ethan's own mind avoided this place. Zah wanted to leave, but the memory pulled him in. He witnessed battle. He witnessed loss on a scale that defied understanding. He felt Ethan's grief, his terror, his exhaustion, the certainty that death was coming. Then he felt something else. Determination. Even after everything, even after the losses, Ethan had continued fighting. Not because he expected survival, because surrender would mean others died. Zah finally broke. The telepath screamed. His consciousness ripped free from the memory. He fell backward into reality. The connection shattered. The room returned. The station returned. The present returned. Zah collapsed onto the floor. Sweat covered his body. His hands trembled. For several seconds he could not breathe. Ethan remained seated, quiet, patient, as if none of this surprised him. The human offered a glass of water. Zah stared. You knew. Ethan nodded. A little. You knew what I would find. Probably. Zah accepted the water with shaking hands. No species should survive that. Ethan laughed softly. Maybe. You experienced all of that. Not just me. Ethan looked out a nearby window. Millions of us. Zah struggled to find words. For the first time in his life, the master telepath felt small. Very small. He had entered the human mind expecting weakness. Instead, he discovered a monument built from survival. A structure made from suffering, courage, grief, hope, and endurance. The human mind was not chaotic because it was broken. It was chaotic because it carried too much. Too much history. Too much emotion. Too much determination. And somehow it still functioned. Zah sat silently. Finally, he asked the question that mattered most. How are humans still here? Ethan smiled. It was not a proud smile. Not an arrogant one. Just a simple smile. We help each other. Zah blinked. That is all. Most of the time. That cannot explain everything. Maybe not. Ethan stood, but it explains a lot. The human walked toward the exit, then stopped. One more thing. Zah looked up. Ethan's expression became serious. You only saw one human. The telepath froze. The implication struck him immediately. One human, one mind, one life, one survivor. Humanity contained billions. Billions of minds. Billions of stories. Billions of struggles. Billions of victories. The scale became impossible to imagine. Ethan left the room. The door closed. Zah remained seated for a long time. Hours passed. Eventually, he submitted his report to the Alliance. The report contained only one sentence: human mind should never be considered vulnerable. Officials demanded more details. Tsar refused. Some secrets could not be explained. Years later, young Telepath still studied his report. Many questioned why it was so short, why the famous Tsar never published a complete analysis. The truth remained known only to him, because there were no words capable of describing what he had witnessed. No language could fully explain humanity. No telepath could truly map the human soul. He had entered the human mind intending to break it. Instead, the human mind broke his assumptions. He had expected weakness. He found endurance. He expected fear. He found courage. He expected trauma. He found survival. Most of all, he expected limits. He found none. And somewhere deep inside his memories remained the image that haunted him forever. A species standing in the ruins of disaster, covered in scars, exhausted beyond measure, grieving countless losses, yet still looking toward tomorrow, still hoping, still rebuilding, still helping one another rise. The galaxy called humanity stubborn. Some called him reckless. Others called him impossible. After everything he had seen, Tsar knew the truth. Humanity survived not because it was the strongest species, not because it was the smartest, not because it was the most powerful. Humanity survived because every time the universe tried to break them, they found a reason to stand up again, and that, more than any weapon or fleet, was the most terrifying power the galaxy had ever witnessed.